I'm going to show you 3 prime lenses that I think are absolutely essential to any beginner photographer, even if you're maybe intermediate or even maybe advanced too. Let's get into it. This is a manual focus lens, but I think it's a wonderful piece of kit. This is the TT Artisans 50mm f1.2 manual focus lens. Yes, manual focus, but don't let that distract you from the fact that this is one of the most satisfying lenses to use in practice. It's incredibly cheap, I'll put the price right here, but what I do consider is so awesome about it is that it lets you experiment with really shallow depth of field. It's not particularly sharp, but to be fair, it is only like 150 bucks maximum. And I love the manual focus ring on this thing. It is so smooth and so satisfying to use. And paired with that super clicky aperture ring, I mean, you can't really go wrong with this thing. Next up is the complete opposite in a lot of ways. This is the XC35mm f2 from Fujifilm. This is one of the best lenses that I have ever used, and it is also incredibly cheap for a Fujifilm lens. However, it is probably the most expensive lens you're going to see in this list. The special thing about this lens is that really there isn't actually anything particularly special about it. It's a very good optical performer. It's very rare for me to find any errors with this thing. I do kind of appreciate its utter simplicity. This thing is completely plastic, which means that it's very lightweight, but you should watch out for any kinds of dings or scratches or maybe even breaking it. However, I haven't had any issues with it and I've thrown this thing everywhere. But I wouldn't recommend trying to throw it anywhere. It's a Fujifilm camera. This stuff gets expensive, man. I basically keep it permanently attached to my X-T1, almost kind of like an X100, but don't tell any of the other photographers I said that. My last lens is going to be the Sony 16mm f2.8 pancake lens. Yes, this is kind of a weird one, but here's what I'll say about that. This is for my NEX5R, which is a supremely tiny camera. This thing is ridiculously small. I love using this thing for parties. I love using it for social events. And it's actually kind of a travel monster now because now I'm not really super afraid about having to bring a camera bag around when I can just fit it in my pocket. It's wonderful. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one in particular. It's not the best optically, but pancakes are everywhere. You can also pick up the 16 to 50mm Sony Power Zoom, which is a kit lens that you can often get with a lot of Sony cameras now. This one just has a special place in my heart, and it also feels kind of nice to manually focus too. So there's that. I have videos on my YouTube channel about all these different cameras that I've just talked about right now, so check them out if you're interested. Thanks for listening to me yap about my little lenses, and if you're interested in watching more, well, I'll link some more stuff. All right? Thank you so much.